So just about to do a little bit of free motion embroidery on this quilt. So it's just quite nice. This is a quilt that we're using, which is a strips and squares quilt. So I just thought it was just quite nice just to do a little bit of doodling in the white bits, and in true Sharon fashion, that's what it looks like on the back. So it's just quite nice to do. I am no expert, but when I'm doing quilting, I love this Janome machine. So this is the Memory Craft 9450. It's a wide arm, as you see, so easily you can quilt a decent sized quilt. This is a fairly small one, just a sort of a bigger than cot medium size quilt, but easily. I've done a king size on this machine before. So basically, I'm just going to show you quickly how we set it up. So I want to use this particular foot rather than the standard darning foot, so slightly different. This is just a really nice foot, but I have to do and change the settings. So I'll go into here. That's the beauty of this machine. It's just very easy to navigate through. So going to quilting, free quilting, and it's telling me to lower the feed dog, which is nice and easy. Little switch at the side here, just there. And straight away on this machine it tells you what foot to use, so it knows we're free machining. So it goes straight away to that hoppy foot, which I'm not a lover of. And the reason why it hops is because it's got a little bar on the top that sits on top of the needle bar. So what happens is it hops, and you know, it's fine, but it does take a little bit more getting to know, which is why I love this foot. So to get this foot up, I need to go to push here, and now it comes up with that little foot. So what's going to happen with this foot is it just glides. So I'm going to show you, and I'll just do a little piece here. I've got this machine set up because I'm going to show you another trick in a moment as well. I love my gloves. I find when I'm quilting is the shoulders get really, really tense. So these help grip the fabric. So they've got little grippers on, and then you can move it a little easier. So basically I'm just going to do this little oblong here, and let me locate my foot pedal. And you don't have to do anything else. It's literally just changed all the settings for you. And I don't tend to go too fast. Can't find my foot. Oh, I've got 2 feet here. That's set my foot pedal. So it's always going to do one little stitch, and that's to help you bring the bobbin thread up. But to be quite honest, I'm not going to bother too much about that. So I'm just using my fingers to move the fabric. And it just is, however random. The difficulty is just getting nice curves without having it going to sharper points. So obviously with this I can just move it around so as I've got my view of where I want it. Want to fill in those gaps and just be round and free, fluid kind of moves. So I'll just press my scissors, and there we are. So show it from the back, and that's all I'm going to do, is just do all the little white bits of this quilt, and I think that will help pull it all up. This is a lovely collection, which is the Soraya collection, and I hope you agree, it just helps them pop. So of course that's, you know, a nice expensive machine that's got those features. So what can we do on a standard machine? I mean, it's a nice machine, but it's still a standard machine. We can use either the standard darning foot, or we can use a convertible free motion quilting foot set. So it looks like a right old contraption, but what happens with it is it works in the same way, so it will glide instead of jumping. So let's just show you the foot. Let me just take it off here so as I can show you. Okay, so it looks quite a contraption, but basically it has a closed foot, it has an echo foot, this is what it comes with there, so it helps you gather and follow other lines if you were going around in circles or lines, and then it's got an open toe one as well. So these are just connected, you just unscrew this and that bit comes off. So all of this is included in this foot. And then what you've got with this is you've got a spring here, so by turning this up or down will actually raise or lower this, because when you're free machining you want to make sure that it's not squished down too far, otherwise it's going to be difficult to move. So you need to get it into the right position, and you may have a very, I'm just using quilting wadding here, but you might have quite a thick lofty fabric, and you'll want this presser foot, you'll want this part of the foot raised, and you do that by manipulating there. And it's this little spring here which is standard in your normal darning foot. This is what regulates and helps regulate the tension without having it hopping, because it won't sit on your needle bar. So it just is quite a contraption, so we have to fit it, take it off and fit it on the machine. That's another thing I love about this 50/60, it's got a nice big screw on the edge, on the end, so you can actually get your fingers around it instead of a little piddly one. So anytime you're free machining, everything's going to loosen up a little bit, so it's a good job to give it a little bit of a tightening with a screwdriver. And then I want to drop my feed dogs there, so they're dropped, and I will show you how. I do need my gloves on. Now, lots of people put the stitch length down to 0. I mean, it doesn't matter what your stitch length is on this, because you're going to be determining how far your stitch length is. I don't usually bother. I usually find it works okay just the way it is. So I'm going to do this small piece here. Bring my presser foot down, and I need to just make sure, and that looks perfect, it's not pushing too far down on there. And I am actually just going to bring my needle down just so I know where I'm starting, and to locate my foot pedal. And as you see, it's not bouncing, it glides. I'm going to actually turn the speed down a little bit, because I do prefer to go a little bit slower. Now, I could have just made my foot come up a little bit more, but if I've got speed control, I might as well use it. I hope you can see how nice and fluid that becomes. Just a lot easier, for me anyway, than using a bouncy foot, or just the normal darning foots. I just love the way it just glides, because your eye is then not sort of bouncing all around with the foot. As I say, I'm no expert, but like most things, I like having a go. And this foot makes life so much easier. Push my scissors, and then there we are. Can you see that? And then on the back. So I hope you'll agree that this is probably worth an investment. So it's convertible, free motion quilting foot sets, and you know, if you've tried free machining before and you're not too successful, then this could be your answer. So they come in as a normal 7mm. This one's of a 9mm, so it would fit on this machine, for instance. That's a 9mm foot. But if you've got a standard machine, you need a 7mm foot. Thanks for joining us.